What's going on, YouTube? Claic Yuzolt back again with another 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross video, and in today's video I wanted to update you guys on the best farming team that I've put together. It is a bit different than we had in my old one, but this will get the job done even faster. So let's get into it. So if you've been around the channel for a little bit, I did an old, outdated best farm team to be using, and Hauser was on that team, and he's going to still be on this team, but we've had some updates with Blue Lillia and Blue Demon Meliodas coming out that really makes this team shine, and that's what's really gotten me back into the game, is the ease of farming that we have now and the speed of it to make sure you get through it as fast as possible. So our first unit we're going to be using is Mage Lilia, Blue Lilia. She has that awesome passive that is going to increase everybody's pierce rate by 50%, and we're going to be using 2 pierce keyword users on our team with Blue Demon Meliodas and Hauser. So we're going to increase that even more, making sure we can clear out these waves AoE as fast as possible. She also has this nice little AoE move herself here. It's not going to be doing the most damage in the world, but it'll still get the job done if you need to kill just a little bit more and making sure you guys can one-shot maybe with Blue Demon Meliodas or Hauser respectively. For our gear for Blue Lilia, we're going to be using Defense HP. That's going to go for a PvP and all kinds of other content as well. But be aware that you want to have her have as much pierce rate as you can, because the way her passive works is she takes 50% of her pierce rate and gives it to your Hauser or your Blue Demon Meliodas that you have on your team. So that's why on these top 2 spots, I'm trying to get as much pierce rate as I can. I don't have as much, but I'll get there eventually and make some perfect gear for her later on. The next unit we're going to talk about, and we've talked about before, is going to be our Hauser. He is going to be the Brrr King. He's going to be in there doing as much damage as possible, and it's really going to be because of this move right here. Pierce 3 times pierce rate increase when he uses this ability. Not only is he going to have a ton himself, as we'll see through his equipment, he's also going to be getting that nice buff from Blue Lilia, allowing him to do as much damage as possible to all those massive waves and endless farming that we have to do. Looking at his equipment here, again, we're going to go attack defense with our Hauser, and in the top 2 spots, again, all 3 of our units that we want on our squad here, we want as much pierce rate as we can to be able to do as much damage as possible. So we're going to be going pierce rate in both of those top aspects as well. And the other newest addition to the team is going to be Blue Demon Meliodas. He has a nice little AoE pierce hit here. He has amazing base stats. He's going to be doing a lot of damage, and this is another pierce increase. You can see the synergistic ways of AoE pierce damage throughout this team that we have here. And then again, I don't have his gear exactly where I want it. Honestly, Hauser has some of Meliodas' gear right now because I'm running him in the final boss for Gother. But we can see that we have some attack and we also have some pierce rate. In the end of the game, I want to have just straight pierce on both of those to be doing the maximum damage that I can for AoE farming. But we are running attack defense on our Blue Demon Meliodas. Now, let's say you have this entire team set up. The sub spot is really going to be up to you. There are several options. For me, I'm going to be running Death Pierce, and I don't know if you guys have been watching my streams or watching my YouTube videos, but I love Death Pierce's passive. Decreases all enemies crit resist and crit defense by 30%, meaning you're going to be doing more when you crit, and you're going to crit more often because their crit resist is down. So it's going to help you. So if you're thinking that AoE Pierce is doing a lot of damage now, think about critting and then doing 30% more damage on top of that because their defense is down from being critted. So that's why I like using Death Pierce, and he does work from the support slot. This passive applies from there. Now, the other person people will probably tell you guys to use is going to be Vine Height. It's going to be this guy right here, the Robin Hood looking guy, and he was originally in the first farm build that we had talked about before. And the reason being is this is amazing passive, and he did AoE damage. It increases everybody's pierce rate by 8% at the end of every turn, and from what I understand, this does work in the support slot as well. So you have your choices between those two, in my opinion, but for me, it's going to be Death Pierce because I've just seen the damage that my team can put out with those crits. And then also Hauser in himself has a move that can crit a little bit more, has an increased crit rate, but it doesn't do that much damage, so maybe it does a little bit more with Death Pierce in the squad anyway. So that's going to be the team, guys, and that's going to be the build. We're going to go ahead and take a look at a couple of the main farming spots you guys are going to do and show the team off. So to show the team off, I'm going to take it through 3 of the main ways you guys like to farm, which is going to be boss battles, then we're going to a free stage, and finally, we'll finish it off in a SP dungeon, or the special dungeon, or whatever. So I'm going to be using a little timer here on my iPhone to track check how fast we're going to go. In our first one, we're going to just take on the hardest boss battle here at the end. We're not going to be using any food. And remember, your mileage may vary how fast you can do this depending on your gear, what units you have, and if you end up eating food. I don't know how many of you guys out there eat food when you farm, so I've hit start now. And we're going to see how fast we can get it done. But maybe that'll help as well if you eat Pierce food or something like that. It'll help clear even faster. So the first thing I want to tell you guys is I have not found a way to stop Blue Demon Meliodas from using his corrosion card. He will use it first every time. If we end up getting another one, you'll see that he will end up using it again. It is just a total wash there when it comes to Blue Demon Meliodas with that card. But you can see we're doing a lot of damage. We're actually hitting pretty hard. We're critting because of Death Pierce. We're critting for even more damage. But sadly, it does look like the AI likes to use Blue Lilia's S1 over either of the Hauser cards, and more importantly, Hauser's Pierce card, his Pierce keyword card. So that kind of sucks. But in the end, this team still does so much damage, and so quickly we can get the job done in time. So you can see that we have, sadly, our Hauser has been incapacitated, but we'll get it through anyway because we do have the cleanse and the heal from Lilia. But also the AI likes to use Blue Lilia's heal even if they're barely hurt or injured. And then Hauser here is for some reason not using his best card, but the AI tends to use like the cards that it can use to kill. The best way that it can while saving some of maybe its major cards. It's really weird. The AI in this game can be very, very, very great, but other times be very, very bad. So now we're using 2 Hauser Burr cards. And if you guys don't know, it's just like a meme when I say Burr, because he goes, Blender Burr, and he just like kills him off. So we should be getting really close. Oh my gosh, it could have been over right there. It took a little bit more time because maybe we didn't get one of our crits we wanted, or we didn't do as much damage as we wanted. We almost had it done instantly there for one go around. We even have an ultimate up at this point, so it's definitely over here. I have ultimate skip one, so we're gonna hit stop. The fight is over, and it took us 1:42 to clear the hardest boss battle that there is, and it'll actually be a lot quicker when you're going through some of the easier ones, or if you get lucky with elemental advantage or disadvantage, depending on which one you're farming. So 1:42, not too bad when you're going through trying to do your boss battles. But now let's move on to a free stage and show you how much more quick that can go. So the salvage event is going on right now. We have half off farming free stages. So a lot of the time you guys are going to be in the free stages farming for equipment or food, what have you. So we're going to test it here as well. We're going to go ahead and hit start. I need to use an energy pot real quick, and we're going to get into the fight. And we're going to see, I think it's going to go a lot quicker than the boss battles, but we'll have to wait and see. I'm going to wait and hit start here as soon as the battle comes out. So we're having start going, and we're going to see how well we can get it done. And hopefully we don't get okay, we have a combination there, and double corrosion is never good. I mean, it doesn't matter. You're farming, right? You probably have this on auto and you're not looking at it. But when you see double corrosion, it normally leads to Meliodas using corrosion twice. He'll use it the first time, and then when new enemies come out, he thinks, oh my god, I gotta debuff him, and he'll debuff him himself. But we can see we cleared in one sweeping turn. We've cleared all of the enemies in front of us, which is what we want. We'll have one more enemy come out, and then we'll have to take on the boss, which we should be able to one-shot this guy as well. It really depends on, yeah, this should be done as well, because we end up using a Hauser Burr card, thank goodness. Let's see what happens here. And yes, lots of crits thanks to Death Pierce, and we're moving on to the final boss. And it's going very, very swimmingly. And then on top of that, you can kind of use this team since we have double blue and red. You can kind of pick and choose where you want to fight, I guess, if you want to farm optimally. Oh my gosh, and we got a combination there. Let's see how we can do here. How much damage? It is red versus green, so this is working out for us with Hauser. And it is over. I'm going to go ahead and hit the stop button. That was 1 minute and 2 seconds. Pretty quick for clears that you're going to need to do a lot in this game. And at the end there, thank goodness the AI used Hauser cards. I guess maybe it did because of the elemental disadvantage there, or advantage for Hauser to be doing more damage. And we're moving on to the final one, which will be the SP dungeon. So in the SP dungeon, we have a lot of options we can consider to test, but for now I'm going to test the key one where you get the gold, because I feel like you do that way more often than the others. I guess when you're specifically farming books or experience potions, you do that a lot, but in the end, you know, the key one's the one where you're going to be at a lot. So we're going to get that started. We have our timer here for the final test to show this team off. And guys, if you're watching this while the Blue Lilia's banner's going on, you can get Blue Lilia and Demon Meliodas on that banner. I started the timer, by the way, on that banner right now. So if you're still watching this while that step up's going on, I highly suggest going for it. And they're an amazing PvP combo, like one of the best. So that banner's insane. And you can get Hauser from using coins in the coin shop when he comes around. So going to be great options for you guys out there. as you move forward. This team right here should be pretty easy to build as far as getting your hands on the units right now, because the banners are out with the step up and blue Lily is guaranteed at the end. But if you're looking at this after they've gone away, it's going to be a little bit more tough for you to put together, but there are other options. If you're first now starting the game, maybe check out my other farming guide to the best farm guide, because there's still a great options for you guys in there as far as units are concerned. There are a lot of SR units, and then as you play the game and build up, you can build to this team if you ended up not being able to pull them. So we are already heading into what I do believe is the final boss fight. We have a mix of red and blue units. Hauser has completely locked out all of them except for the last guy, and if the AI would have used, never mind, it's over. Let's stop. That is under a minute right here. We got that done. Under a minute, we cleared out this dungeon. And for how many times you got to do that in a day, or, you know, as you're farming throughout the week, it's really nice to see how fast this can get done. So overall, again, I got to do my ad bonuses, guys. I got to start doing those again. I kind of stopped doing them because I hated watching the ads. But you can see how powerful this team can be, how fast it can make your farming. You can efficiently farm, get that stuff done so you can do the rest of your day, whatever you need to do. Or you can just farm out more if you're a well or a light spinner, having all of those energy pots to make sure you maximize your time when half energy is going on. So if you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you have any questions or you have any other suggestions, or if you're now a Death Pierce fan. And then subscribe to me here on YouTube for more Grand Cross content, and I'll catch you guys in the next video.